Hello, I'm Mark Carcasole. You are watching CBC News Network. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy is in Halifax for a meeting with Prime Minister Mark Carney today. Zelenskyy is making the stopover ahead of talks tomorrow in Florida with U.S. President Donald Trump. All of this aimed at ending Russia's war on Ukraine. Now, today's meeting with Carney in Halifax comes just hours after another major Russian attack on the capital of Ukraine, Kyiv, overnight. Officials there say hundreds of missiles and drones were launched at the capital. Now, today is a key day in the effort to secure lasting peace in Ukraine, as we mentioned. Prime Minister Mark Carney meeting with Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelenskyy, yes, before he goes on to Florida to meet with President Trump in the U.S. Let's bring in the CBC's JP Tasker now, who's watching all of this from Washington, D.C. JP, what did the leaders say during their brief meeting in front of reporters before they went into their meeting today?
Yeah, Prime Minister Mark Carney sit down with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy in Halifax. The Ukrainian leader is updating Carney on his push for a resolution to the Russia-Ukraine conflict, outlining what he wants to see from the United States, but also the coalition of the willing, which includes Canada, of course. Zelenskyy has this 20-point plan, and he's trying to gather support to see it through. Carney telling reporters he will work tirelessly to help Ukraine achieve what he calls a sustainable peace, and he strongly condemned Russia's brutal attack on Kyiv last night. Have a listen.
The attack on Kyiv shows just how important it is that we stand with Ukraine during this difficult time, and that we create the conditions for this just and lasting peace and a true reconstruction. And I want to underscore something that has happened in recent weeks, is that the development of that possibility under your leadership, and also the prospect of true prosperity for the Ukrainian people.
Part of creating those conditions for a peace deal, a peace arrangement, is more military support, more financial support. Carney committing today $2.5 billion more on top of the $22 billion or so that they've already committed in multifaceted support, loaned out or donated to Ukraine. We also heard briefly from Zelenskyy himself. He says that Russian assault last night tells you what you need to know about Vladimir Putin's commitment to ending this war. Have a listen.
And it's really shows that Putin doesn't want peace, and we want peace, and he's the man of war, but he's afraid to speak about publicly. But we see these steps, and what we need to stop this war in any way, and we need two things: pressure on Russia and sufficient strong support for Ukraine.
Carney and Zelenskyy are also speaking to European leaders together online. They have set up a secure video link there in Halifax. It's not clear who's going to be on that call, but Zelenskyy said he's going to go over all of the issues, provide some updates, exchange details, and really touch on some of the sensitive issues that he is going to have to go through with President Trump tomorrow.
Okay, JP, and then we know after that, of course, as you mentioned, there is the meeting with President Trump tomorrow. We know that in general it has to do with ending the conflict with Ukraine, yes, but do we know any specifics about what exactly they will be talking about?
Yeah, Zelenskyy is looking for security guarantees from his allies, including the United States. He says that is the most important consideration with this visit. He wants binding commitments to provide military, financial, intelligence support to deter possible future Russian aggression. He also wants support from Trump and other Western allies for reconstruction. A lot of work needs to be done in that bombed-out country. And there's also the issue of territory. Russia wants Ukraine to give up some land in the east. Zelenskyy has long opposed that, but it seems his stance has softened somewhat in recent days. He's now saying that he'd be open to a demilitarized economic zone in the Donbass, in those contested areas. And while Zelenskyy is saying that a lot of this stuff has already been hashed out with Trump, that the deal is 90% complete, Trump has been non-committal so far to all of these things. So we'll see what happens in Palm Beach, Florida tomorrow. Mark?
We certainly will. CBC's JP Tasker in Washington. Thanks, JP.
Thanks, Mark.